what we're going to do is create a hair texture, or create 3 hair textures basically, for use in the our character's hair. Okay, so I'm going to use Photoshop. You could really use whatever you want, whatever you feel comfortable with. Doesn't really matter. It's just Photoshop's kind of what I have right here. So we're just going to go ahead and do File New. And then I would make it relatively large. So let's say, not this. Let's do 2048 by 2048. Square is always better when you're doing textures. And then we'll hit create. Voila. We'll make a new layer. We can leave white on the bottom. All right. So I don't want to go. Hopefully, you guys should know Photoshop, I believe, at this point anyway. So I don't want to get into like the nitty-gritties of Photoshop. But I'm basically going to need 3 layers in order to create what I'm looking for. So I need to do my color textured layer. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use I like to use a regular paintbrush as opposed to a mixer brush for this. I'm going to go to the brush settings. I have them over here, but if you don't know, just Window, brush settings, pop up over here. What we're going to do is I'm just going to do kind of the color layer first. So looking, I just have the basic brush, like I said. I'm just going to go ahead and use this one here. You know, there's other ones here that might work as well. The problem is by default, it has a little bit of spacing, so it's going to do this. That's not what you want. We need it to be a line. So take the spacing all the way down. Actually, if I turn that off, yeah, see, keep that on. And then just make sure it's all the way down, and then that way it'll streak instead. And that's fine. That looks good. Sorry, the size of stuff we can do through the bracket keys. The other thing I like to do is this color dynamics. I'm going to turn this one on. And we will do background, foreground color jitter. So what that's going to do is control, and let's do by pen pressure. And let's see, apply per tip. Why am I not getting the other options? Hang on 1 second. Yeah, that's what we want. We'll do by pen pressure. And then what this will do is, let's go ahead, and my guy's got like a brown, gray hair kind of thing going on. Oh, that's why, because it's gray. I'm like, why am I not getting huge saturation? That's weird, right? I don't know why that happened. I must have accidentally clicked on it. Go mode, RGB color. And then don't flatten. All right, great. Okay, now I've got the other ones. I was wondering what was going on. Okay. So put these as really low numbers. But basically, with the color dynamics of doing these, it's going to jitter the hue, the saturation, and the brightness. And what that means is that every time I draw a stroke, let me turn off this here. Every time I draw a stroke, you're going to see it's going to be slightly different than the previous one. Okay? So let's just trash that, do a new one. So that's the idea behind it. Let me move this out of the way. All right, that looks good. So I would say there's way too much, and I don't want to use the background foreground jitter. I'm just going to use the front one because it's making it kind of white. And the hue jitter, and actually saturation jitter, I want to be my highest one. So let's do 5 for that. Let's do for hue, let's do say 3, and brightness, let's do 2, and then we'll leave purity there. And I'm just going to do a couple strokes and see what that looks like. Okay. That's fine. Okay, so I think, let me see something. Why it's so light. Seems weird. Okay, so we'll put that on there. In color dynamics, that looks fine. I got the shape I want. Okay, so Control D, get rid of that selection. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna draw a couple different strokes here. What you want to do is do a couple of them so that you have a bunch to select from. Okay, so in this case, I'm just gonna kind of go like this, and I'm just gonna draw a bunch of these strokes. I feel like, why is it giving me that one off? I don't want that. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna hit X and just do a second color. See if that helps. Yeah, that helps. I don't know why it's using the background color too. Okay, and I actually don't really like that, so we're gonna make this more on the dark gray. So it's probably gonna take me a little bit to try and get. We'll do more of that color, and then I'm gonna hit X for the other color, and we're gonna go more in the gray realm. Okay, so we'll say something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just kind of drawing these strokes, right? And then I'm going to do these ones kind of a little bit more wavy. Okay. And then I'll do these ones a little bit more. Okay. And then we'll just do, I'm just going to do a bunch of these like this. This would be like maybe for his beard or something. Just kind of this scraggly looking thing. And then we'll do some here as well. Okay. So one of the things you're going to notice is it looks kind of flat. Well, do this. And I just want to kind of go like that. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a darker version of this. Do darker next. And I'll just do darker again. And I'm just going to kind of, just because I need more variation here. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to do a lighter version. We'll go more gray with this one. And we'll go more brown with that one. Okay. Not super happy with that one. Let's see. Oh, okay. Let's turn that off. Oof, that's too much though. Let's turn this off. I'm going to take the flow down. I don't want to do that because it'll be too transparent. Put that back on. Let's do this. I'll make this smaller. Trying to. Hair is not necessarily my area of expertise, so it helps if you have a tablet, obviously, as well. So we'll go with that. That looks relatively acceptable, we'll say. Now what I'm going to do is actually not use any of this. I'm just going to go to a regular old brush. So I'm just going to go regular hard brush. And I'm just going to manually draw now my strokes. So that we can have basically like the hero hairs. This is just kind of the base. So let's go ahead and just do some dark ones first. It's better to go dark to light. So we're just going to kind of go like this. And let's still do color dynamics for this a little bit, just so that I get, and let's hit X and do the other one just really dark. So I just want to do dark first. So this could actually be, this is still too big. Let's get closer. Control minus, that's a little too close. I feel like his hair is a little bit too dark. And if you look at other ones, you'll see that generally speaking, they look best when they are, and actually we can also turn this on, the thin thickness, that will be better for this as well. They look better when they are, if you just do it mostly by hand, just doing one strand at a time, but you want to think of it like cloth. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to kind of just trying to create some variation in here. Hopefully you guys can get the idea here. My dog is, it's like partly pug. What are you chewing on? What is that? Alright, well. Okay. Yeah, I already took you out. So I don't want to spend all day you guys just watching me squiggle squaggle, but hopefully you get the idea, right? So we do that, and then I would also do basically a light version of the same thing. So my guy's got some gray in there as well, so this definitely needs more of the light. But I would spend, more time than I'm going to spend here. But I don't want to spend too long on it because you should be working on yours. So hopefully you get the idea. Right, so let's say I did a good job. All right, so that'll be more or less my color layer. And in fact, actually, what I'm going to do is take this background and let's just make that black. So G, there we go. All right, because I think that actually will give us a better example of what it's going to look like. Probably should have done that from the beginning. Most of the time, what you should do is not start with white in the background. Start with like a mid-gray because that gives you more idea of what the range of colors are. Okay, so I have that. I'm going to make another layer, and this will be my alpha layer. So I'm not going to show exactly what you see here. I'm going to show what's on the alpha. So what we're going to do is bring this up, go back to the brush, and I'm going to turn color dynamics off. I don't need that. And we're just on the clean. Okay, let's put this layer above to start with. Just want to make sure. Okay, good. So then what we're going to do is we're going to put that underneath. We're going to take this one, and I'm going to create a clipping mask. Right click, create clipping mask. And then as I draw down here, it will reveal what's above it. So you can see now I've got my hair strands like that. Hopefully this sort of makes sense. I know, love. I know. Okay. Now, depending on the type of hair, what you want to do is look at the hair. So, like, if I was in a really long strand of hair here, what you'd actually want to do is do like a light, like a sheen here, then like a dark spot, then a sheen here, that sort of thing. Make sure you're kind of trying to wisp. If I do it on both ends, I could use the bottom of this and the top of this as like two separate hair strands, basically, which is nice. The hard thing is trying to recognize where the bits are here. I could do something like this. If I release this clipping mask, let's take this. I'm going to duplicate it. Control J. Take this one and make this one a clipping mask. And I'm going to take this one and just take the opacity down a whole bunch, so I get a rough idea of where it would be. Hoping this will help. There we go. And now when I go down here and I paint it, I can at least see where I'm painting. What is wrong with you? Okay, so you get kind of the idea. Now, when we're done, we're going to have this nice alpha that we can use, okay? I'm going to pause the video so you're not just watching me do this for 20 minutes and then the dog barking at me. Okay, so I sort of rushed it. I should have spent more time on it, just kind of filling it out. But you probably get a rough idea of what you want to do. So now what we want to do is, I had this one on. I'm just going to take this one and just get rid of it. We don't need it. So now I have the colored version. I have the alpha here, and then the other thing we're going to need is going to be the bump map is what I'm going to do. It's going to be hard to do a normal map of it, so I'm just going to put an adjustment layer on this, and we'll just do, actually, is this one black and white? Oh, that's portrait stuff. We'll just do the black and white one, and then I can just kind of adjust this. Let's hit auto. Does that help? It didn't really do much for me. Take the reds up a little bit. Okay. So, and then that'll be the black and white, all right? So that we have our bump map. Okay, so let's just go ahead and let's export these out. So we'll take this one. I'm just going to go ahead and export this out. So we'll just do File, Save As, Cancel, Save As Copy. Stupid Mac or Adobe thing now on my computer. Okay, and I'm just going to save it right to the project, which I don't remember where it was. That's Logan. That's not the project, is it? I'm going to find it. I'm going to go to the project folder, go to the source images, and then we will save this. And I'm just going to save it as, let's do PNGs. We'll just do JPEG because it'll be easy. So we'll say JPEG, and this one we'll call the hair underscore. That's not underscore. Hair underscore color. Yeah, hard time typing here. Hair color. Great. That's weird. Okay, good. All right, so that'll be hair color. Then we're going to just do the alpha here. So I'll save this one. And we'll do it on our computer. And then we'll click as save a copy. And then we will once again do a JPEG. And this will be hair alpha. Delete. Alpha. Okay. Fabulous. And then we will do the black and white, the normal map version. So once again, save it on my computer. Save as copy. So much more convenient having to click so many more of them. Great job, Adobe. Okay, so boom, and this will be here. Bump. Okay, and then like okay, and then we're just gonna save it one more time on my computer, and we're just gonna save this one as the PSD. And we're just gonna call it hair_master. So if for some reason I need to go back to it, I still have all my layers and stuff, and I can work from there. But I do have the individual ones as well in order to work from. Okay. Hopefully you get a rough idea. So that's what I basically want. It's just you're just going to want those three things. And I would do a bunch of like basically different strands, as you can see here, and work from that. So in the next video we'll do is actually kind of connect them together.